Let's start from the beginning. Why did you become a Jehovah's Witness?
I was sitting watching The Truman Show, minding my own business on a Saturday morning, when two of Jehovah's Witnesses rang my doorbell. My husband ran and hid. My son answered the door, not realizing that he had opened the floodgates of hell.
Hello.
Why do you say that?
Listen up and I'll tell you. The Jehovah's Witnesses at the door said,
Good morning, my name is Rhea Glute, and this is Marilyn. We're just in your neighborhood today, and we'd love to share with you a brief message that has helped many find comfort. Would you have a few minutes to talk?
and I shouted, I know all about the Bible. I'm a Catholic. I'm married to Jesus. And they responded,
Well, we've got a message from your husband.
They had me hooked. My husband, Guy, came out of the closet. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, boy.
Hello, sir. Do you believe in a higher power?
We have around 120 volts in this country, not that weak shit they have in Europe. Or is it the other way around?
We're talking about God, silly. Turns out Guy and I were perfect candidates because we ticked a box on their list. They spoke about how my son could have a pet panda and lions and lambs would frolic in the meadows under a permanent Mediterranean climate right here on Earth. And all our dead loved ones will be resurrected and dig themselves out of the ground and live again. Too bad if you were cremated. I believed they'd been sent by God himself. Their timing was perfect. I'd just lost my grandpa in a freak accident with a JCB.
But the poor little silent lambs won't be around for long if the lions are roaming free. Will there be any meat in this earthly paradise?
Don't worry. Our guys will take care of that. Everything we need or want will grow without any need for killing.
So there'll be hamburger trees and lions and bears will be vegetarians.
That sounds about right.
And my guy decided to join on the spot. So we went to a meeting at the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses.
What was it like inside?
Looking back, it should really have had bars on the inside as it became a prison. But when we first walked in, everyone was so welcoming, warm, and lovely. And a fuzzy feeling took over us like we had not felt since our last vacation with my parents.
Would you describe it as love bombing?
They had a compelling sales pitch talking of bombs. They told us the end of the world was just around the corner. And if we didn't dedicate our lives to their organization, we were as good as dead. Well, they told Guy that if he quit smoking, he could become an elderer, which is a higher upper, a demigod, if you like, within the organization.
Yeah, I wanted to help them make arbitrary rules and stuff.
Oh, I wanted to be an elderer too.
She couldn't because the job is only open to men and she doesn't have a penis.
Neither do you.
So joining wasn't all bad. You quit smoking when you started studying with them. So
I gave up smoking, but also I had to give up every goddamn ounce of life's enjoyment you can think of because somehow they were all connected to Satan. We had restrictions on foodstuffs if they contained blood products like cochineal, the colorant otherwise known as E120, etc. Back in them days, it was in everything, so we almost starved to death.
no Kool-Aid.
Oh, dear God, no Kool-Aid. That's different. It was their drink of choice.
Why? But I'm sure you were allowed to celebrate newborn babies, etc.
We were instructed to avoid having kids as those little enemies of God took away the time that should be spent worshiping the organization. Thank God we already had our son. We did get married, though. I'll show you our wedding album after if you want.
No thanks.
That since the evidence that destruction of this entire system of things was now imminent, many couples are remaining childless so that they would be less encumbered to carry out the instructions of Jesus Christ to preach the good news of God's kingdom earth-wide before the end of this system comes. Awake. November 8th, 1974.
Right, so would you say you weren't really living the dream?
Oh, a dream. If your dream is constant fear, thought control, you'd love it. We had to be informed which activities were acceptable in the bedroom, if you know what I mean.
Guy. Were there any parts of that life you enjoyed? I mean, you stayed in there for 30 years.
Yeah, when I was a kid, the food at the large conventions, we had Jehovah's, Shasta-Cola, Sara Lee cheese Danish, Swiss Miss vanilla pudding, oh boy, and the fountains that dispensed unlimited Kool-Aid. But the fun disappeared when the communist marching music started, because it was the signal that you had to be back in your seats for more hours of turgid torture, banging on about what you can and can't do or else you die. Oh, and maybe, I remember staying at an extortion hotel that had a swimming pool was cool. That was our family annual holiday. We never had money to go anywhere else because my dad gave up his school job.
Oh, what was your job, Guy? Had to change it.
I was a pumpkins technician, worked 2 months a year, and that earned me more than the jobs I had to change it for.
Oh, had to change it for?
Pumpkin harvesting was illegal in Witless World because pumpkins were used at Halloween. Like I said, everything decent was connected to Satan. I exchanged my lucrative post to become an odd job man, pool cleaning, gardening, window washing, fast food worker, cashier, maid, retail, sales
I'd love
associate,
a cup of
grocery
coffee.
bagger.
Do you guys
barista,
drink tea and
hotel
coffee?
Oh,
housekeeper,
yes, yes. It's
dishwasher,
the Mormons who don't.
waitress, amusement
My
park
God.
attendant, motel receptionist.
Would you like a
night
glass of
shift,
Kool-Aid?
labor and
thanks.
maintenance jobs, janitor/cleaner, farm worker, laundry worker, parking lot attendant, recycling sorter, babysitter, daycare worker, teacher's aide, babysitter.
So you quit harvesting pumpkins because they're used on Halloween. It's like refusing to grow an apple tree because somewhere end up in cider. Pumpkins are only in season around fall. You'd have continued doing the job if it was possible in summer, right? Not necessarily for Halloween. So when did you guys realize you were in a cult?
Whoa! You can't call it the C word.
Why ever not?
It doesn't qualify as a cult because it doesn't have a single charismatic leader.
Charles Taze, Russell, anyone?
I think he actually meant none of the leaders are charismatic.
And the light gets brighter all the time.
The light?
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Blar, blar, blar. Armageddon gonna get ya. You better watch out, you little. Christmas is banned. Michael Jackson is banned. In fact, everything is banned except coming to the kingdom hole. Oh, and donation.
Miss out the T.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I did not have a type with that word, New Light. Not a single time. Never.
The Taze, what happened?
Well, we got stuck into the witness world.
I started giving talks from the stage. They loved me.
And now we were on the other side of the door, knocking while householders were hiding. It all happened gradually, actually. It started with Miles. He had a girlfriend called Abishag.
First Book of Kings, 1 Kings 1:01, 4:15 in the Old Testament. She was a young Shunammite woman chosen to care for King David in his old age. Her role was to keep him warm, but they never had a sexual relationship. Basically, she was biblical history's most famous royal bed warmer, and her name is just unfortunate.
Wow, you're hot. What's your name?
Abishag.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Just unfortunate.
It's a name from the Bible. I live close by. Do you want to see my aquarium?
Miles, what are these stains on your pillows and blankets? What have you been doing?
I was rubbing my bones against my pillow.
What Why would you do such a thing?
I got the idea from a video.
What kind of video is this?
Video online from the righteous ringleaders.
Who?
Heaven's 11?
Who?
The Guilt Brigade?
Oh, the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses? Oh, well, if it came from them, then it's inspired of God and beneficial, so we're okay. Forget I said anything, dear.
Did what?
Miles, I'm so sorry. I told the elders what we did. They want to speak to your dad.
You did what?
I had no choice. Sapphira found out when she saw you leaving my flat, and she told Delilah, and she told Herodias, and Herodias told the overseer's wife. Those witches should have come to me first. But don't panic, don't panic. There weren't two witnesses.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Father in the heavens, let your name be sanctified. Let your kingdom come. Let your will take place as in heaven. Give us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors, and do not bring us into temptation, but deliver us from the wicked.
Help!
I was tortured that I'd gone to Abishag's flat without a chaperone. Her pet albino shark, Jonah, didn't count as one. God knows I studied hard and prayed harder and even gave my first public talk to atone for my sin. Alas, the elders came knocking. They asked me such personal questions about the day I was lured to see Abishag's aquarium. Like, did I touch her flange? Was she wearing clothes? Did I bone her? I told them no bone rubbing occurred. We simply fed her fish, Jonah.
Gosh, it's like they think your sexual organs are just there for peeing.
I don't have any.
Then one day, I was sitting in the garden at the back, studying my Bible, or should I say their Bible. I wondered about the tree of knowledge of good and evil and about the fruit Eve ate. At school, we were taught it was an apple, and I wondered if Jehovah's Witnesses agreed. I asked Rhea Glut, the sister who studied with me, hoping she would help me find scriptures to answer my question, but she exploded. She gave me the hairdryer treatment, if you know what I mean. I wanted to say something like, "Bitch, go blow dry your hair," or something.
Don't be dogmatic, Thelma Louise. We simply don't know. You should never research anything on your own. You should repent now, sister, before the devil claims you as his own.
Thought she was my friend.
So Rhea told the elders that Thelma Louise had been studying by herself. She thought at least they were
nuts.
appointed by the Holy Spirit and would correct her thinking.
They ordered me into the back room of the kingdom hall and told me I was going to die for questioning their higher authority. They told me I should know to just listen, obey, and be depressed. Jeez. They told me I was a typical headstrong woman and my job was only to do what my husband says, spread gossip, and clean the kingdom hole toilets. How dare I study myself because I'm not capable of understanding the Bible? I asked why I should be subjected to their authority. They said, "That's what I signed up for when I got baptized." I said, "Well, I don't remember reading that on the contract." And they said, "Well, you signed it, sister. No paenitentia emptoris or buyer's remorse passes here." Then they approached my husband at work and told him to keep me in check, or as they put it, in subjection. Fuming.
Yeah, I caught the elders spying on me. I saw their car outside where I work. It was definitely a witless car because it had at least 5 seats in it, perfect for the field circus in our territory. They came to me and said, "Your woman shouldn't be reading, let alone be thinking. She's getting ahead of herself in the chariot. Because Eve was deceived by Satan, God decreed that women would be in subjection to men."
Imagine I wasn't allowed to speak up because I'm a woman.
No, dear, it's because you're not a man.
I think we should remove the Larkspur family as a job lot. Disfellowship them all. Ooh, no, we can't say that term anymore, at least until we've got our tax-free status and state subsidies back from the Norwegian government.
Is that wise? If we remove them, they'll lose their entire network. Friends they gave up to join this cult. I mean corporation. I mean organization. Also, we'll lose their monthly bank transfer contributions to the worldwide work.
Don't be a pussy. They don't contribute that much anyways. Guy has a shit job. And as for her,
We can just take Dad off the mics, demote him from being a ministerial slave, servant. Same thing. That'll learn him to keep that bitch in check.
Why did you call the religion the truth?
Because they told us to.
It has changed so many times. We think that's why everything has now gone online. That way they can change the doctrine and no one will know the difference. The previous teaching will just disappear.
Like smoke.
If it is the truth, but then it changed, then it wasn't the truth to begin with.
Right.
They called me into a JC. I said, but I was 8 when I got baptized. How can I be held to such a contract? They said, yes. And your point is.
What does JC stand for? Jesus Christ?
Trust me, darling, Jesus Christ has nothing to do with that religion. It stands for Judicial Committee. 3 elders meet with the individual who is being disciplined. The purpose of the committee is to determine if the individual has repented for their actions and whether they should be disfellowshipped.
They said, you're not allowed to doubt anything we say, even if it doesn't make sense. You signed that in your baptism contract when you joined the faith. I got called into a JC too.
brothers, let's misinterpret this text together. Thelma Louise, you can't sit with us. Your husband has to answer for you. We'll let your husband know your fate first, then you'll know. If you want to appeal our decision, you have to ask your husband to ask us first, but we're sure you'll agree. Otherwise, we'll have to have another JC about you not agreeing to this JC. Got it?
Why is she questioning Jehovah? Has she been watching apostate videos? Do you not monitor her TV viewing? Does she watch Frozen? Is she somehow possessed from shopping at secondhand stores and yard sales? You know Smurfs frequent those kind of places, don't you?
But wait a minute. Hey, can I just say something? Guys. Oh, this is... Oh my God, what is this?
Okay, Guy, you may leave the room while we make a decision.
Huh? But it's my house.
Once we step over the threshold, it becomes the house of God, and we are God's representatives, so kindly leave. We should disfellowship Guy or not keeping that bitch in her place. She had a mouth on her. She just wouldn't shut up. But as a bloke, we got to keep him. The woman, however, is useless to us. She can't carry mics,
But we need the sisters to clean the toilets.
Could do with getting rid of the kid, too. He's not a ministerial servant yet, and he's finished high school. He may go into higher education and get into some independent thinking, and we know where that leads.
To common sense?
Let's contact Jehovah's legal department to decide their fates.
That's a great door knock you have there, Elder Coldgrave.
Thanks. I homed it at the Witness Academy.
Hello there.
We're here for your removal, Thelma Louise. You are hereby no longer a member of our high control group. Your ticket to paradise has been revoked. We will announce to the whole congregation at the next meeting that you are now dead.
But we're already dead.
No, but she's dead to us.
Including our family? This is scandalous.
Especially your family. Oh yeah, her mom won't even return her texts. Unless she drops dead, then she'll show up just to see if she regrets it. But if anyone asks, normal family relationships continue.
Proof. Instant ghosting. Don't touch the door handles on the way out.
This is scandalous.
That night before my removal was announced, it thundered. I thought it was Armageddon, and Jehovah, the vengeful God, had come to wreak havoc on my soul. Doctor said, I can prescribe you millions of pills, and this will all go away. Or you could just become a Pentecostal. I was shunned at the following meeting.
We'd like to invite Brother Not Allowed to the platform to make an announcement.
The governing body of this congregation want it to be known to every living creature that Thelma Louise Larkspur and Miles Larkspur have been disfellowshipped.
You can't say that. The D word.
Oh, sorry. Thelma Louise Larkspur is no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses.
No, brother, that's the wrong announcement. We changed it recently. New light.
Ah, right. Thelma Louise Larkspur is dead to us from now on. Let the shunning begin, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Removed.
Removed. Do not approach me, Thelma Louise. I'm not allowed to speak to you. But let me just say, your grandchildren will fry like hot dogs at Armageddon. I can smell them now. Your son will probably become a drug addict. Everlasting life will be lost. Shun. 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 Shame. Shame. Shame.
My conditional friendship with Rhea was over, but I felt relief. I had been swimming for a long time, almost drowning, but suddenly I had reached the shore.
After that day, I was a broken man. I started to think about my wife, my life, and my kid, and all that they meant to me. We were happy before we joined this cult. Now we were worlds apart, living under the same roof. I realized I was broke. I had no pension because I'd given up pumpkin farming. That cost me my 401k. I sat down and watched the village while my wife and son sat in the garage, shunned by me. They made her feel that by leaving them, she was leaving God, leaving life, leaving me. But we were about to reclaim what they took from us. That night, after the storm had passed, I felt a moment of clarity. I took out my pen for the first time since we stopped taking notes at meetings and wrote a disassociation letter to the elders. My best friend came to say goodbye. Brother Barry, it's not a religion, it's a cult.
It's not a cult because cults have one single charismatic...
Yeah. If it looks like a duck, lays eggs like a duck, then it's probably a platypus. It's a cult. Identified by what happens to you when you try to leave. Jonestown, Heaven's Gate, the Solar Temple, the movement for...
Okay. Well, I'm gonna miss you. We got on well. I still like you, bro, but I'm gonna have to ignore you from now on when I see you at work. Let's enjoy this last glass of Macallan's together, then bid farewell.
Here we go again, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters of the Crotch Tower, all the sheeple at Valhalla congregation. Brother Guy Larkspur has defected, literally signed a pact with Satan, climbed aboard the chariot of...
Yeah, we got the idea. He don't want to be in our gang no more.
You may now shun him to your heart's content. Let the shunning commence.
We'd stuck together despite our period of social isolation. My wife did not desert me like they said she would, nor did she join a coven of witches as they said she would. Our son didn't turn to drink and drugs like they said he would. He didn't become a pirate on the high seas, or worse. In fact, Miles has filled his time learning to use his natural talents as God intended instead of waiting for Narnia. He has a scholarship to study a PhD in evolutionary science this spring.
And I'm no longer afraid of apples.
I no longer need a pillow at night because I have a normal girlfriend. Best life ever.
Thelma Louise came off the pills and is now a certified yoga instructor. I got my old job back, albeit on a lower salary, but I'll work on that. I do the cooking now because I'm no longer the head of the family. We both are. I even clean the toilet. And as for Grandpa, well, I guess we'll just have to live with the fact that we will never see him again. It sucks, but that's life, and the only one we have.
And your ex-JW friends, any word from them?
I heard they're opening a branch in Venezuela, Jonestown. Apparently, they bought some abandoned village there to build a media production center and further their weekly fraudcasts to the adherents. They sent Rhea Glute there on a special mission. She posted all over Reddit and YouTube and Instagram and Blue Sky and Twitter.
And now, what's next for you, Miles?
Best life ever. I can drive a 2-seater roadster without getting the side eye from the pioneers because they can't fit in my car and have to get the bus. I can vote for my country, bring actual change instead of waiting for a sky daddy to do something. Feels good to finally have my mind and my Sundays back.
I can ask as many questions as I like. I'm learning stuff like Babylon was destroyed in the year 539 BCE and not 587 BCE.
Oh, everyone knows that.
I can watch Twilight without fear of my furniture floating around afterwards. Yay! Though I'm free, I still have a fear of doorbells/thunder and vegetarians. It's totally weird, but in a good way.
Thank you very much. You guys have been great giving us this story. Anything you want to add before we close up this interview?
Yeah. If two strangers knock on your door and start talking about a paradise Earth, just say, sorry, I already worship Cthulhu. Trust me, they won't be back.
Apostate Penny. I'm the apostate Paul.
I'm apostate Pomo.
Help us fill our tight pants and reach 144,000 followers on this divine channel.
From the dark basement of my house, this is J-Dub Fraudcasting.
Uh-oh.
Evacuate from this killing, and after this, Delta settles, the air is accurate. You can see the real standard with two speakers in back of them. It's disrupt, don't get it twisted up with vodka. I'm here to cause an earthquake, so listen up. I bang